Welcome to another Places of Interest adventure with Getting Lost. Today, we're doing part 8 of our Bridges of the Singapore River adventure, and we'll be heading up towards Robertson Key. So let's get to it! From our previous episodes, you would have recognized this bridge. This bridge is actually Coleman Bridge, which actually is the bridge that marks the end of Clarke and the beginning of Robertson Key. So let's get to Robertson Key. Okay. First of all, once you cross over the bridge, you will see this place here. This is actually the Singapore Repertory Theatre. It's a place where performances are done, plays, music. You can come here, you can actually check out their website to see what's playing, and you can come and enjoy. Okay. Other than that, okay, a little bit of history about Robertson Key. Okay, it's actually a wharf which is near the source of the Singapore River. It's the largest and most upstream of the 3 wharfs on the river. The other 2 will be Boat Quay and Clarke Quay. Okay, previously, this area here and the upper reaches of the Singapore River were originally mudflats and swamp areas. Okay, so as the population grew, the area was reclaimed, and in the 1880s, warehouses, which some of them still survive, boat yards, were constructed in both the European and the Chinese style. And in the 1990s, URA rezoned this area for new development of residential, hotel, and for commercial use. But the first bridge that you'll come across in Robertson Key will be this bridge here, which is quite colourful, and is called the Alkaff Bridge. This is actually a pedestrian bridge spanning the Singapore River at Robertson Key. It is actually a steel truss bridge shaped like a tongkang, or the bumboats that are used to ferry tourists up and down the Singapore River nowadays. So basically, a tongkang is actually a light boat commonly used in the early days of Singapore's port history to carry goods along the Singapore River. And this bridge was actually situated near the former Alkaff Key, and this key was actually named after a prominent Arabian family, and it was built in 1997, completed in 1999. Next, along the Singapore River is the Pulau Saigon Bridge. Pulau in Malay is actually island. Okay, so Pulau Saigon was actually a small island in the Singapore River, located between the banks of the Robertson Key. Previously, it was just mangrove swamps until 1878. On the local area map, it was designated as Kampung Saigon, or Saigon Village. Then in 1888, the British started projects to increase the width and depth of the Singapore River, and this actually helped to spur the access to Saigon Island, and quays and bridges were built. Many of the island original buildings were demolished and replaced with new industries. But unfortunately, in 1972, the western arm of the river was drained, and finally in 1991, the eastern arm of the river was drained, that was connected to Saigon Island, and the island was completely merged with the mainland at Magazine Road. And also, as you can see, this is actually a old warehouse, and at the moment this warehouse is being converted into a hotel. As you actually walk around this area, you can actually notice a lot of old warehouses facades that are actually has been maintained, and this area here is mainly residential and also entertainment, as in there are a lot of bars, restaurants at the lower levels. So it's a very interesting place for you to visit if you're in Singapore, because there's a lot of variety of food for you to try, a lot of restaurants, and a lot of pubs and bars. And then of course the environment is quite nice because you are just beside the Singapore River. As you travel further down the river, the next bridge you will reach is Robertson Bridge. This bridge itself is named after the area that's in, which is Robertson Key. So this is Robertson Bridge. Not much else is known about this bridge except that it's quite nicely and architecturally designed. It looks like a suspension bridge, a unique suspension bridge. And this is another view of the bridge. I must say it does have a very unique design, and it's one of those bridges that helps to ferry people from one side of the river to the other side of the river, and especially in Robertson Key area. And now we're actually walking along a small path, small parkway that is beside some condominiums, and further up itself we'll be reaching Seng Park. And along Seng Park there's another bridge which is called the Jalan Bridge. This bridge itself is actually named after Tan Jiak Kim. Tan Jiak Kim was a prominent Straits-born Chinese or Peranakan merchant and political activist. Because of his many philanthropic contributions, this bridge was actually named after him. And it's also another interesting historical note is that the park, Kim Seng Park, that this bridge is actually at, is actually the grandfather of Tan Jiak Kim. Okay. And we will go more into Tan Kim Seng in a short while, but this is the Jalan Bridge. And Jalan Bridge, if you cross over to the other side, will bring you to a discotheque, which is at the moment the lease for the area is actually expired. So very soon the place will be taken back. But there is the opposite the river is actually the location of Zouk Disco, where for many years Singaporeans have been coming here to dance and drink and have fun. So this is a place that holds many memories for a lot of Singaporeans. So now we are on the other side of the Singapore River, facing Robertson Key, and you can actually see the Alkaff Bridge on to the right. I'm going to bring you to another place to eat, which is actually slightly further away. So from the Alkaff Bridge, after you cross the bridge, you head towards the main road. At the main road itself, you will see that there is a bus stop, And beside the bus stop, an overhead bridge. What I want you to do is actually to take the overhead bridge, go up and cross the bridge. So you'll be going up here and then crossing the bridge over to the other side, to the HDB flats on the other side. Okay, so this is the view of the bus stop and the Alkaff Bridge from on top of the overhead bridge. Okay, so what I want you to do is actually to continue walking across the bridge. Okay, keep walking. As you can see, you're actually reaching a hill on the other side. The place we're looking for is actually this yellow building. Okay, and we're actually heading towards Jalan Kukoh. Okay, Jalan Kukoh is actually a Malay word for Jalan is a word for road. Kukoh is for sturdy or strong. Okay, so we are heading to this area here, which is the Jalan Kukoh Food Center. Okay, so once you cross the bridge, okay, you need to take the stairs, the flight of stairs going up. Okay, once you go up, okay, you can see the yellow building in front of you. So this is the building you want to head to go to the Jalan Kukoh Food Center. Okay, I'll give you a view from the front. This is Block 1, Jalan Kukoh. Okay, so this is the interior of the food center. Quite common in Singapore to have this kind of setup. And here's the shop that we're going to try, which is the Teochew pig organ soup. Yes, so basically it's actually pig organs cooked together in a soup with preserved vegetables, so it has a salty, sour taste, and eaten together with rice. So here it is. Okay, and the rice itself, you can order with an extra serving of egg, or for me, I order for tofu. Okay, and the tofu is cooked in a soya sauce for a long time. Okay, so this is the soup itself. There's some. This is the lean meat. This is the intestine. This is probably the stomach. I think it's the stomach. Then you have meatballs, and pork belly, and you have liver, and there should be kidney in there somewhere. And then this is the preserved vegetable that gives it all the flavor. Yep. So this is the soup itself. The soup itself is actually quite tasty and quite strong in flavor. And quite if you are in the area and you come here doing a lunchtime or a late breakfast, this is actually quite delicious and recommended to try. Thank you very much for joining me on this leg of the adventure. As you can see, this is the Pulau Saigon Bridge again. It does have a slope downwards, whereas normally at the bridge itself you were seeing a bridge going up and then going down, whereas this one is only the downward sloping that you see of the bridge, which is a bit unique. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the content so far. There's still one last part of the Bridges of the Singapore River adventure that we'll have to cover, which covers the source of the Singapore River. So we'll get to that and finish up our long project here. Thank you very much, and see you at the next episode. Bye bye.